As you see, I'll knock on the gates of heaven, because heaven is my home. I want heaven to be your home. For heaven to be your home, you need a safe environment where you want information about Jesus and how to live a heavenly lifestyle. All you need to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell notification button to have access about videos about Jesus. As you do it right now, I'm knocking on the gates of heaven.
Hey my fellows out there, it's Caden Chamo once again, and I bring to you another episode of Untold Bible Stories. Last episode was done by my brother, Jaden, and today is a story continuation of that story. But before I continue, drop your comments below as to what Samson is going to do next. Is he going to be the one to launch an attack? Or are the Philistines going to launch back an attack for those tunics he robbed last time? Just expect some wonderful feats of strength from Samson, which you never knew existed in the Bible. We'll be right back. Later on, at the time of wheat harvest, Samson took a young goat and went to visit his wife. He said, "I'm going to my wife's room," but her father would not let him go in. "I was so sure that you hated her," he said, "that I gave her to your companion. Isn't her younger sister more attractive? Take her instead." Wait here, not even 1 minute into the story and it seems like a fight is going to happen? Your wife has been given to another man? Let's go on. Samson said to them, "This time I have a right to get even with the Philistines. I will really harm them." So he went out and caught 300 foxes and tied them tail to tail in pairs. He then fastened a torch to every pair of tails, lit the torches, and let the foxes loose in the standing grain of the Philistines. He burned up the shocks and standing grain together with the vineyards and the olive groves. Samson, there's fire on the mountain already. Let's continue. When the Philistines asked, "Who did this?" they were told, "Samson, the Timnite's son-in-law, because his wife was given to his companion." So the Philistines went up and burned her and her father to death. Oh no. They burned her alive? Come on, and this is the fault of the father. Why would you give your child to another man on the night of her wedding? This is so sad. This is really, really sad. Samson is definitely gonna go haywire. I'm really afraid of what's gonna happen. Samson said to them, "Since you've acted like this, I swear that I won't stop until I get my revenge on you." He attacked them viciously and slaughtered many of them. Then he went down and stayed in a cave in the rock of Etam. The Philistines went up and camped in Judah, spreading out near the He. The people of Judah asked, "Why have you come to fight us?" "We have come to take Samson prisoner," they answered, "to do to him as he did to us." Then 3,000 men from Judah went down to the cave in the rock of Etam and said to Samson, "Don't you realize the Philistines are rulers over us? What have you done to us?" He answered, "I merely did to them what they did to me." They said to him, "We've come to tie you up and hand you over to the Philistines." Samson said, "Swear to me that you won't kill yourselves." "Agreed," they answered. "We will only tie you up and hand you over to them. We will not kill you." So they bound him with 2 new ropes and led up from the rock. As he approached Lehi, the Philistines came towards him shouting. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him. The ropes on his arms became like charred flax, and the bindings dropped from his hand. Finding a fresh jawbone of a donkey, he grabbed it and struck down 1,000 men. Then Samson said, "With a donkey's jawbone, I have made donkeys of them. With a donkey's jawbone, I have killed 1,000 men." That's the power of God. It can only be the power of God. The last time, I believe the guy called Shagmar in episodes 4. Go watch it now if you've not. A link is shown on top of my head right now. He killed 600 people with an ox goad, and Samson breaks his record, killing 1,000 people, like 1,000 people with the jawbone of a donkey. And between these two men, what's the common denominator? The Spirit of God. Christians nowadays are so privileged. The Spirit doesn't come upon us occasionally. He is indwelling in us permanently. I'm not saying we should go about beating people up and killing them. I don't believe the Spirit will even allow us to do that. But talk of academic excellence, breaking records in our spheres of life, healing the sick, performing unimaginable miracles. These are things we can do by the enabling of the same Spirit who strengthened Samson. No wonder Paul said in Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm happy to live in this era where the Spirit dwells in man permanently. The things Spirit can do through us is limitless possibilities. I'm too excited. Let's finish our story. When he finished speaking, he threw away the jawbone, and the place was called Rameth Lehi. Because he was very thirsty, he cried out to the Lord, You have given your servant this victory. Must I now die of thirst and fall into the hands of the uncircumcised? Then God opened up a hollow place in Lehi, and water came out of it. When Samson drank, his strength returned and he revived. So this spring was called En Hakor, and it's still there in Lehi. Samson led Israel for 20 years in the day of the Philistines. Samson went to Gaza, where he saw a prostitute. He went in to spend the night with her. Oh no, Samson was promiscuous. So gifted with the Holy Spirit, but sleeping around with a prostitute? Having the power of the Holy Spirit is not just enough, but allowing him to lead you to holiness so you live like Jesus is the aim. That's why he's called the Holy Spirit. He leads you to holiness. That's the main aim of having him in us. No wonder she terminated his destiny at the hands of a woman named Delilah. Power is very good, but it ain't all, my fellow kids. Obedience to holiness is what matters. Imagine if he was holy. He might not have died at the hands of Delilah. Let's continue. The people of Gaza were told, Samson is here. So they surrounded the gate and lay in wait for him all night at the city gate. They made no move during the night, saying, At dawn we'll kill him. But Samson lay there only until the middle of the night. Then he got up and took hold of the doors of the city gate, together with the 2 posts, and tore them loose, bar and all. He lifted them to his shoulders and carried them to the top of the hill that faces Hebron. What? He carried a whole city gate? Listen back. Then the city gate was probably about 60 feet high, and archaeological evidence indicates that the city gates in this period of time were usually made from parallel pairs of massive stone blocks. The posts and bars would have probably been solid cedar. Overall, we're talking tons of weight. The nearest hill facing Hebron is 60 kilometers away. Not only that, Hebron was Israel's highest city above sea level, so the hill would have been one of the highest points in Israel. And Samson walked about 60 kilometers. That's about 3 times the distance here from my church to downtown Toronto. Approximately, or rightly put from downtown Toronto to Newmarket, Toronto. Carrying gates weighing thousands of kilograms for such a distance, that's insane strength there. And it could only be by the strength of the Holy Spirit. At this point, I believe the soldiers, upon seeing him display such strength, wouldn't even attempt to attack him. They might have just given up and ran away. Wow. But share your views in the comment box. Was Samson already aware the soldiers were hiding, waiting to ambush him? And why did he perform this feat in the first place? I, for one, think he did that to make a show of strength and humiliate the Philistines. Let me know your opinion too. As you just saw, the Lord really, and I mean really, strengthened Samson there. Still sad for his wife though. They got to burn her alive, but the death has been cast, and we all know what happens next. The popular story of Samson we all know. Delilah's going to deceive him, to tell her the sorts of his strength, and blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Samson dies killing some more people on his death day than he never did in his lifetime. You all know that story already. That's a wrap-up of our Samson for our series. Do well not to miss our next episode as we narrate another story you never knew existed in the Bible. Like the video and subscribe to our channel. And as always, you can check out some amazing videos from us right now.